You never know what can happen on any given day out here.
It's going to be tough. I'm going to have to rip through the crowd. It's going to get gnarly and really hairy and nasty.
Run what we can run for the championship. That's our plan. We're going for the championship. Go for it all.
Well, I think anytime you win the National Drivers' Championship, it's you definitely have some sort of target on your back.
There is no layback strategy tomorrow. We are going for it. We have nothing to lose. If there's other tough guys out there, we have nothing to lose. We're going to go for it. We want to win.
Some of the most competitive racing in the country goes down right here, and you can say you're the king of it right now.
That's what we come for. We come to win, and we don't care about money or points or anything else. We care about trophies.
Welcome everyone to the hills of Wisconsin, the very historic State Park Speedway here in Wausau, Wisconsin for tonight's event, the Mid-American Stock Car Series in action here at the Kim Parsons Memorial. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Klepper. Olivia Pritchett down trackside covering all the action from the pits. The stands are packed as we get set for a great night of racing. Of course, the name Wimmer, synonymous with racing up here in these parts. Ron Wimmer, the co-owner of this very historic raceway.
It is probably the only two-group track that I know of in the state that you can get side by side. It's really good competition. And I don't know what it is. It's old pavement, but this area here, in our background is a mountain. And just above this track is a blue rock that Minnesota Mining used to mine and use for their making their sand granulars. So I think this asphalt was probably made with a different stone than it is nowadays. Nowadays the stones are so refined, and that's what I think just gives this track a lot of bite.
We've had 6 events so far this year with 4 different winners. So tonight, round number 7, the Kim Parsons Memorial here at State Park Speedway. Qualifying and heat races have already taken place. It was Jack Stern, quickest in qualifying with a 15.119, very quick here at State Park. 2 10-lap heat races based on their qualifying times. That's how we lined them up. And of course, the main event tonight will be 40 laps in distance. Your qualification time will be how you start that A main event. We saw a lot of action in each of our heat races here at State Park Speedway. And again, it's all about money and points. How you finish this heat race has nothing to do with how you start the feature event. The rookie in the series, David Slack in the 30, would start on the pole in heat race number 1, and the action heated up very early. The 62 of Scott Knoll working that outside groove as they would go side by side in turn 3, as we're on board now with the 31 of Stephen Cox, who would have to worry about the 27 Wisconsin driver Travis Rodewald. He would use the low line off turn number 2 to take over third from Cox, but entering turn number 3 would go dirt tracking, throw that thing sideways, split 2 cars, and take the lead down the front straightaway. Rodewald would check out from the rest of the field. Going back now on board with Stephen Cox, running in that 4th position to the inside of Scott Knoll, trying to take 3rd. But here comes the 66 trying to go 3 wide, Chris Storey, down in turn number 1. Cox would push up a little bit, get a little help there, little touch on the right rear, and that would allow Storey to get underneath the 31. But as the checkered flag came out, it was all Travis Rodewald. He got the win in heat race number 1. Olivia Pritchett caught up with our winner in victory lane.
Tell me, is this what you were expecting based on practice?
No, based on practice, I thought we were going to be in the back, but the car came around for the heat here, and hopefully we can make something happen for the feature.
You think you can carry this success into the feature?
Oh yeah, we're going to make some changes here quick, and we'll be good for the feature.
Heat race number 2 was stacked. Your current point leader, Brad Keith, in the 48, Mark Pluwer in the 54, second in the points, and your defending Mid-Am champ, Jeremy Spoonmore, in the 22. Spoonmore actually won here at this racetrack 1 year ago with the series, and he would have to try and get by Brad Keith for the lead. A little love tap there entering the back straightaway. We talked to Keith about running here last year.
We raced here last year. We ended up having a bad set of tires, so we had a real good grip on the car in practice, and then as soon as we put a different set of tires on, it was really bad last year. I think we'll be okay here today. When you get to these small little racetracks, patience is a lot to do with having good finishes. You just got to be patient, get through traffic, and just keep the nose clean and try and stay out of trouble.
Well, he was very patient in this heat race, and so was Jeremy Spoonmore. Could have laid the chrome horn to the 48, as you can see right here entering turn 3, but Keith would hold him off to get the win in heat race number 2. He would forego victory lane as they had issues with that car.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to stay in winner's circle. We had to come back and get this drive shaft changed. The car got really tight at the end there. I'm not sure what happened if the stager tightened up on us or what, It was good for a couple laps, but I think we got a lot of work to do. We're going to make some changes, try and get the car freed up, and I think we'll be okay. We'll get it freed up and just see what happens. Over 40 laps of a long race here, and anything could happen.
Well, you got to be somewhat happy you won the heat.
Yeah, we won the heat, but I'd rather win the feature tonight.
Well, Brad Keith will certainly be one to watch, looking for win number 3 so far this season. Hey, cars are making their way out onto the racetrack as we get set for a 40-lap feature event here at State Park Speedway. The Kim Parsons Memorial is next. The Mid-American Stock Cars Series is brought to you by Bochette Timepieces, high-grade quality-made timepieces. Well, you can see the stands are packed. Ron Wimmer and his crew doing a great job to bring the fans back here to State Park Speedway, and we have got a 40-lap feature on tap here tonight. You see Stephen Cox out of Indianapolis on the pole there in the 31. We're being told they have had some issues, a broken spring cup earlier in the day, unable to get that thing ready to rock for this feature event, so they're predicting some handling issues, and unfortunately for Stephen Cox, he will start on the pole here tonight with that 31 car. As you see your starting lineup, Tim Fulford will start outside of row number 1 in the 174, looking for his first win of the year. Travis Rodewald in the 27, very fast in the heat race, and Marvin Flick in the 90 will make up row number 2. Brad Keith, your current point leader in the 48, and Rick Tackman Jr. in the 74 make up row number 3. Inside of row number 4, former champion with the Mid-Am Series, Jeremy Spoonmore, and Mark Plur in the 54, currently second in the points. Dan Gilster in the 23 inside of row number 5, and David Verhagen in the 0V will start 10th. Jack Stern in the 26 car inside of row number 6, and David Slack in the 30, a rookie with the series. Inside row number 7, looking for his second straight top 5 finish, the 62 of Scott Knoll, and Lyle Nowak, who won earlier this year at Jefferson Speedway. Row 8, Eric Wilhite in the 2W will start 15th, and Chris Storey in the 66 out of Burlington, Wisconsin rounds out your field. So lights are out on the racetrack. Stephen Cox, former GT Challenge Series champion, will set the pace off of turn number 4. Green lights are on. It looks like the 174 of Tim Fulford gets a huge jump. And more than likely, the caution will come out here as it is the pole sitter who sets the pace as Fulford. At least a car length advantage off turn 4 on the start, and it looks like we will stay green. So Stephen Cox, your pole sitter, gets the short end of the stick there, falls back a couple spots. So Fulford right now is your leader as we complete now lap number 2. Rick Tackman Jr. out of New Berlin, Wisconsin. In that 74 car, as you can see, a second groove developing here early. If you want to make some moves, you may have to go to that outside part of the racetrack, and that is exactly what the 54 of Mark Plur is doing. Second in the points. Oh, and now contact down in turn 1, courtesy of Tackman. Plur slides up a little bit. That will allow Travis Rodewald to take the spot. A lot of grip on this racetrack. Down low, up on top. Plur trying to make it work now. 15 seconds a lap. They are hauling the mail here at State Park Speedway. Plur once again entering turn number 3 using the high line now to the outside of Marvin Flick. As they cross the stripe, he's got the 27 of Travis Rodewald right behind him. There's the 174 of Fulford, your leader. And here comes Plur. Plur around the outside of Flick, takes the second spot. He will try it again now through turns 3 and 4. Plur this year has 2 wins, coming off a big one at the Milwaukee Mile, trying to go back-to-back. For the 174 of Tim Fulford, still looking for his first win this year, just one top 10 finish. That came at Veterans Raceway Park. And they are side by side, the top 6 or 8 drivers. As you can see right there, Plur oh, now we got trouble down in turn number 1. 3, 4 cars get together. It looked like the 0V of David Verhagen spins it out. You saw the 23 there of Dan Gilster, the rookie. As the caution comes out, the 26 there of Jack Stern, also the 32 of Lyle Nowak. So let's take a look at it one more time. And you can see the 0V of Verhagen. Looks like he just got loose on his own entering turn number 1. Everyone else a victim of circumstance. So we'll have to see if the damage is enough to keep anyone out of the rest of this race. You see the crew down there working on the number 26. Let's check in to find out what the issue is.
Well, I think we got caught up on the outside. Some cars slid up and took Jack into the wall. It looks like everything's okay on the frame, so we just had to take a little bit of the body work, bend it around a little bit, take the hood off. He'll be all right.
So Jack Stern in the 26 will make his way back out onto the racetrack as the field lines up 2 by 2 behind the pace truck, still under caution flag here. Earlier today, Stephen Cox, our driver analyst, on the racetrack to tell us how to get around this bull ring.
The way to get around this track in a hurry is not to get in a hurry when you're going into turn number 1. You need to back off the accelerator, roll the car in deep, and don't let it push up high coming off a 2. Now, when you get on the backstretch and you're coming off of turn number 2, you can float the car way up high and look for this fresh concrete laid down in about a 4 or 5 foot patch. That will launch you down the backstretch. Now, when you get into turn number 3, drop as low as you can through 4. There's another fresh patch of concrete there for your left side tires, and you'll get a huge bite going back down toward the start-finish line.
So just a few laps into the Kim Parsons Memorial here at State Park Speedway as Mark Pleurer from road number 6 is your current leader. How about Scott Knoll? Started back in 14th, has slowly worked his way into the top 10. Stay with us, more racing when we come back. The Mid-American Stock Car Series is brought to you by Sopwith Motorsports, television production, motor racing, and by Bochette Timepieces, online at bochette-timepieces.com. Welcome back to State Park Speedway for the Kim Parsons Memorial, featuring the Mid-American Stock Car Series. Mark Pleurer from row number 6 up to the front. Caution came out for a big accident down in turn number 1. Lights are out, and we are back to green as Pleurer side by side with the 27. Travis Rodewald was very fast in his heat race, trying to use that outside groove to get by the 54, the line that Pleurer used to get to the front. Side by side as they continue to cross the stripe and click off laps here in about 15 seconds. Well, that 54 of Mark Pleurer has raced here before, but it was way back in 1993.
I raced here at Mid-Am back in the first year, 1993. I don't remember a thing. It was completely different cars than now, so it doesn't, I can't remember a lap I turned here.
Now, you don't have a lot of time between the last race and this one, and I'm sure you have a lot of changes to make. Are you feeling the pressure there with such a different track?
No, not at all. I got a good bunch of guys. We got the car changed over a couple hours. We're making it better. We just threw another setup at it, like we always do, and we'll get it better.
Well, Mark Pleurer's car so far tonight pretty fast on that low part of the racetrack, the shortest way around State Park Speedway. He's able to run that low line, not really push up the racetrack at all. Meanwhile, the driver running second now, Travis Rodewald in that 27. Little loose coming off turn number 2, heating up that right rear tire. And trying to get the lead coming off turn 4. He does by a nose. 2 days ago, Travis Rodewald did race, so a quick turnaround for him and the team to get ready for tonight. We asked him if he was nervous.
Yes, I am, actually. I've never been here before, and I borrowed someone else's trailer. We didn't bring no parts along, so we are going to struggle tonight, but we are going to do everything we can to win.
What do you think the secret's going to be to running a good lap on this track?
Don't get in a wreck. Smooth. You got to be smooth on the throttle. You got to really come out of the corner nice and gentle and try to roll on the throttle nice and easy. Otherwise, you're going to break the tires free, and you're going nowhere.
Well, he's breaking the tires free now every time coming off turn number 2, and I think he likes breaking them free. We saw him do a little dirt tracking in the heat race. You could burn on that right rear for 10 laps in a heat race, but you can't do it for 40 laps in a feature event. And right now, he gets a nice run through turns 1 and 2, and right there you can see he gets loose again. So Mark Pleurer, biding his time, working the low line, says if you want to lead this race, if you want to drive by me, you're going to have to do it on the outside part of this racetrack. Right behind this battle for the lead, we see the 48. That is your current point leader, Brad Keith from Slinger, Wisconsin, trying to get up here and battle with these two drivers for the lead. And Pleurer relentless on that low part of the racetrack as they cross the stripe one more time. And here comes Brad Keith trying to get to the inside as those two drivers almost touch now off turn 2. And it looked like Pleurer has a nice run off turn 2 and begins to pull away a little bit from the 27 of Rodewald. Now Brad Keith trying to get to the inside as you can really see that Rodewald is loose, especially middle off of turn at number 2. And this will allow your leader to pull away. He's got a car length and a half on the second place driver. And right now, Brad Keith, current point leader, looking for win number 3 this year. To the inside, that is the battle for second spot. And Tackman drives it in deep in turn 3, gets into the left rear of Rodewald. Does not turn him around, so good job there for the 27, but Tackman trying to play with these guys and record his second top 5 of 2013. Brad Keith pulls away a little bit now from the 27, trying to reel in Mark Pleurer, your leader. So the top 4 cars now beginning to settle in nose to tail. A nice side-by-side battle for 5th developing. We go on board now with your 2012 Mid-Am champ, Jeremy Spoonmore. Marvin Flick to the outside as they enter turn number 3. And Spoonmore gets a little loose there now off turn to number 4. Marvin Flick in the 90, making his 3rd start this year. He has a lot of history at this racetrack.
I've raced here in our local Central Wisconsin Superstock Association all of last year. And the year before, we were invited here for 3 events. We changed one of our springs. We had to change the gears in the rear end for a different gear ratio. We moved some tires around from one rim to the other to get the right stagger on the rear end for this track. It is drastically different than Milwaukee.
So Marvin Flick now into the top 5, runs in that 5th spot. Everyone is chasing Mark Pleurer. He is your leader. Brad Keith, Travis Rodewald, Rick Tackman Jr., and Marvin Flick round out your top 5. Stay with us. The closing laps are next. The Mid-American Stock Cars Series is brought to you by Bochette Timepieces, high-grade quality-made timepieces. Welcome back to State Park Speedway, the final laps of the Kim Parsons Memorial for the Mid-American Stock Cars Series. Mark Pleurer from row number 6 in the 54 has worked his way to the front in a hurry and has been unchallenged once he got the lead. Right now running second, the 48, your current point leader of Brad Keith. Trying to keep that points lead here, round number 7 of 2013. For Mark Pleurer, looking for his 3rd win. He won the opener at Rockford Speedway in Loves Park, Illinois. He won a couple days ago at the Milwaukee Mile, trying to get number 3 here tonight at State Park. On board with Jeremy Spoonmore, the driver that won here last year, still a little bit loose there. Up off of turn to number 2, 2012 Mid-Am champion. Laps are winding down. If you have a car that can get to the front, you cannot wait any longer. We saw a little bit of Marvin Flick there in the 90 just ahead of Spoonmore get a little loose off turn 4. It looks like everyone is a little bit loose here in the closing stages of this race. Meanwhile, for Pleurer, it looks like Brad Keith slowly could be reeling him in. It was about 3 car lengths, now down to about 2 car lengths. And remember, Brad Keith had to change that drive shaft just prior to this feature event. They rolled off inside row number 3, worked their way into the top 3, now into second. So a tremendous run to this point for Brad Keith. The question is, will he have anything for Mark Pleurer in the closing laps? Mid-Am cars, 3,000 pounds, minimum weight rule. 58% of that weight is on the left side to help them around this racetrack. American-made production V8 power plants underneath the hood. And Mark Pleurer off turn at number 4. Crosses the stripe. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Does Keith have anything for Pleurer? Started back in row number 6. Used the high line to get to the front. No one had anything. The fastest car here tonight at State Park Speedway. And Pleurer will get the win here in round 7. So a tremendous run for Mark Pleurer and that entire team. 3rd win of 2013. And more importantly, his 5th top 5 finish in the first 7 races so far this year. The points battle gets even tighter after his win here tonight at State Park. The former Mid-Am champion now pulls into victory lane. Very excited. Mark Pleurer as he wins here at State Park. Let's get it down to Olivia.
Mark, congratulations on your 2nd win in a row. Now, this is so different from the Milwaukee Mile. What was your secret in pulling this off?
Just try to keep it pointed straight and, keep the tires under the car, and hopefully you got something at the end. And was able to get to the lead pretty early, and just hung on. Didn't have too much pressure behind me, so it was kind of easy.
What was your biggest challenge out there?
Well, biggest challenge, I almost got turned around earlier in the race. Somebody just pushed up, hit me. I just managed to hang on. I was able to gather it up, get back to up to the lead there, and it was just a matter of just maintaining to see who would come through the pack.
What's going on in your mind right now?
I'm not sure. You got to let it soak in, I mean, this is 2 in a row for us. It hasn't happened in a while. It's been a great night.
Yeah, 2 wins in about 2 days for Mark Plur and that team, proudly displaying the hardware here tonight at State Park Speedway. Well, Brad Keith and his team had a very busy night, but the result pretty good as they come home in second. We caught up with him in the pits.
The car really wasn't that good tonight. We kind of missed on the setup, and we were fixing the drive shaft, and we had problems with the suspension traveling. But no, the track was slick, and we kind of prepared for it. But we had a real push in the center of the corner, so we tried to take that away, but we didn't take enough of that away, and it was still really loose off. But I mean, sometimes you just got to get up on the wheel and just manhandle the car the best as you can, and that's what we did tonight and brought it home in second place, and I'm happy with that.
Well, the car wasn't quite perfect tonight. We tried a couple of things, made it a little tight getting in, made it loose getting out. But I had a decent car. It was still drivable. Took a little more work than what we wanted. And had a good battle with the 27 car at the end of the race and got him with 2 laps to go for 3rd place.
How was the track?
It's an old racetrack. There's no grip left on the track. It's definitely a driver's track and a chassis man's nightmare.
Are you walking away happy?
Very happy. I'll take a 3rd place. I'd love a feature win, but you know what? When we bring the car home in 1 piece in 3rd place, that's respectable. I can take that.
So let's take a look at your top 10 finishers here tonight at State Park Speedway, with Mark Plur picking up his 3rd finish of the year. Brad Keith, Rick Tackman Jr. on the podium. How about 10th place Tim Fulford, 2nd best finish of the year, battling a very, very loose race car here tonight. He held on for a top 10. Well, we hope you enjoyed all the great racing action here tonight from the State Park Speedway. For Olivia Pritchett, I'm Rob Klepper. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.